Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching Indepth with your host Kriti Mishra. Parliament has passed the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill 2025, with the Rajya Sabha returning it to the Lok Sabha after discussion. The Lok Sabha passed the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill 2025 on Monday. Finance Minister Abhilasha said the bill was brought to give statutory backing to decisions taken at the 56th meeting of the GST Council. On the first day of the winter session of Parliament, the Lok Sabha passed the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill 2025. The bill seeks to amend the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Act of 2017. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced the bill in order to have Manipur's GST regulation to be in line with centre's new GST slabs. The Second Amendment Bill is aimed to replace a subsequent ordinance promulgated in October 2025. It seeks to implement further decisions of the GST Council, including a plan to consolidate existing GST rates into two main slabs of 5% and 18%. The Lok Sabha had previously passed the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025 in August this year to replace an earlier ordinance. The 56th GST Council, comprising the centre and states, had decided to rationalise GST rates on about 375 items by merging the 5, 12, 18 and 28% slabs into two slabs of 5 and 18%.
Sir, this is regarding the Manipur Goods and Services Bill, sir. The central government amended the Central Goods and Services Act of 2017. Particularly the sections 121 to 134 of the Finance Act 2025. This was passed by the Parliament and enacted in August 2024. These changes also came into effect from October 2025, after more than half of the states updated their GST law. But unfortunately, Manipur GST amendments couldn't happen in time, as the State Assembly was in a suspended mode. Manipur Goods and Services Act 2017 was amended through an ordinance which was promulgated by the central government on 7th October 2025. Now this bill has been brought to replace the Second Amendment Ordinance 2025 and give permanent effect to the amendments made to the Manipur GST Act in 2017. I'd like to say a few words on the salient features. A track and trace system will be introduced to closely monitor how certain sensitive goods move through the supply chain. This will help prevent leakages and make oversight more effective. Rules also dealing with the time of supply for vouchers are being removed, because issuing a voucher is not actually a supply of goods or services. This change will help avoid unnecessary disputes on when tax becomes payable. The wording plant or machinery is being clarified to plant and machinery, and remove ambiguity for taxpayers while claiming input tax credit. This correction is being applied retrospectively from 1st July 2017 to settle past disputes as well. When a supplier issues a credit note to reduce the tax originally charged, the recipient will now be clearly required to reverse the corresponding input tax credit if already taken. This ensures symmetry and reduces interpretation issues. a 10% pre-deposit will be required for appeals before the appellate authority or the appellate tribunal, even in cases where only the penalty is being challenged. This keeps the appeal, the entire process of appeal, consistent and discourages frivolous litigation. And finally, sir, when the goods kept in a SEZ or a free trade zone or a free trade warehousing zone are sold before being taken out of that zone, such transactions will now be treated as neither a supply of goods nor a supply of services, providing clarity and avoiding unintended tax implications. Now, all these amendments were carried out in the Central GST Act for providing certainty to taxpayers and enhance the ease of compliance and the ease of living for taxpayers and businesses. It is important, therefore, sir, that these amendments are carried out in the Manipur State GST Act as well, so that taxpayers in Manipur also benefit from these changes. And that is why I request the House to kindly take it up and pass it. Thank you very much.
मंत्री अब यह प्रस्ताव करें कि विधेयक को पारित किया जाए।
Sir, I wish that the bill is passed.
प्रश्न यह है कि विधेयक को पारित किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हैं वो हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में हैं वो ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ और विधेयक पारित हुआ।
The Rajya Sabha on Tuesday returned to the Lok Sabha the Manipur GST bill aimed at replacing an ordinance promulgated to implement the GST 2.0 reforms in the northeastern state. Initiating the discussion in the Rajya Sabha, nominated member Harshvardhan Shringla said that the government is working tirelessly to restore peace, rebuild confidence and revive normal life in Manipur. He said the bill is a major step towards strengthening the taxation system in the state and improving revenue structure. Meanwhile, replying to the debate in the upper house, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the bill will bring in ease of doing business and avoid unnecessary disputes in Manipur. She said businesses as well as enterprises will also be benefited from this legislation. The Finance Minister also said that this amendment will help establish a track and trace system, and once such a system is in place, it will be easier to prevent leaks. She also informed the House that the rules for generating vouchers at the time of supply of goods have been simplified. Responding to the opposition's concerns, Nirmala Sitharaman clarified that the rates of essential goods have been reduced from 12 to 5% and only sin or demerit goods will be taxed at 40%.
We are bringing consistency in the process and discourage frivolous litigation, because people will just go rush in for some kind of a time buying or whatever. That frivolous litigations will be now discouraged. And lastly, sir, when goods are kept in a special economic zone or a free trade warehousing zone and are sold before being taken out of the zone itself, such transactions will now be treated as neither a supply of good or a supply of services, providing again the much needed clarity and avoiding unintended consequences. So even before, if it is removed from the SEZ or the special economic warehousing zone, if the sale happens, we'll treat it as non-sale, in the sense we'll treat it as neither a supply of goods or a supply of services, so there won't be any confusion. So these above amendments have been carried out in the Central GST Act, but again, as I said earlier, sir, it hadn't happened during the Manipur state GST because of ordinance which had to be brought in. Now we're converting that ordinance into a law. So there are one or two points of clarification which some members spoke about, which I'll very quickly finish. In fact, there were 13 of them who spoke, and some of them did raise some issues. So, Madam Sulata Dev mentioned that in the recent maximum GST rate is 28%. 28% actually has been abolished, sir. We don't have 28% anymore. So it has not been, it's not there anymore, it has been abolished. And items which were in 28% either moved to 18, or if they were sin goods, they moved to 40. So there is no more 28%. And when we say sin goods, we say demerit goods, such as tobacco products have all gone to 40. So that is one thing, sir. Essentials, Madam Sulata, they've mentioned essentials like milk, food, toothpaste, handicrafts are subject to GST. The rates of essentials have been reduced from 12 to 5%, sir. In fact, handicrafts have come to 5%. In fact, milk has no GST at all. It's never had. And even now, except for that UHT, which has a specialized package, high temperature heating, and then it can be preserved without refrigeration. It used to come in a specialized pack that till you open it, it can remain without refrigeration. After that, if you open it, you'll have to keep it in the fridge. That used to have a rate of tax. Other than that, milk never had a tax. Even this has now come to zero. The UHT is also come down to zero. So I just want that clarification given. As always, members from Orissa, I can't see Sasmit Patra here, always refer to Kendu leaves or the Tendu leaves, in which BD or tobacco is put in and it is rolled. That leaf is called Tendu leaves. It's collected as a minor forest produce. Sir, I want to reassure the member, it's now come down to 5 and she's recognized that in her speech. But on Kendu leaves, sir, at least 4 GST councils have met and spoken on it. Elaborate discussions have happened. And if one state, Orissa, wants it, Telangana wouldn't want it. We've crossed all those stages and now we've brought it down to 5. Bring it down to 0. That's been, I'm sorry to say, sir, many requests come like that. By keeping an item in 0, where even some input credit can be accruing to you, will not accrue to you if you keep it at 0. So there is a benefit in keeping it at the lowest possible rate, which is 5%. If I move to 0, even the little refund that you get, you will not get. So there is a reason, madam, that we've kept it at 5. I want to inform the honorable member through you, sir. Then Sri Ayodhya Rami Reddy ji spoke about inverted duty structure, sir. I'm happy to say as much work happened on rate rationalization, bringing rates down, making 4 rates into 2 only, not having 4. Equal amount of work went into correcting inverted duty structure. And I'm happy to say most of the items where inversion happened because the final product was sold at, let us say, 5%. The inputs were being bought at 12%, which is no more there, but 12%. The difference could not be retrieved, and as a result, there was an inversion. But for retrieving the difference, you had to give them refunds. That inversion problem has been largely addressed in the new generation GST, which has come into force. So I would like to inform Sri Ayodhya Rami Reddy that inversion has been addressed. 99%, there can be still 1 or 2 which we'll address as and when it comes about, sir. As particular mention was made by the honorable member on hospitality. We have actually reduced the rate of tax on hotel rooms below 7,500 rupees per night to 5%. Earlier it was 12%. Rooms which are at the rate of 7,500 or lesser were earlier taxed at 12%. Now they have all come down to 5%, sir. This will, I'm sure, make travel easier. Tourism will have an attractive point there, and they will have reason to encourage tourists to take care of the rooms which are at that cost. So with these words, sir, I request the House to consider to pass this bill because it will help the state of Manipur. Thank you very much.
The question is that the Manipur Goods and Service Tax Second Amendment Bill 2025 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration. Those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
Let's take a look at the major highlights of the bill. Determination of liabilities in certain cases. The bill specifies a new framework for determining liabilities in case of tax not paid, tax short paid, tax incorrectly refunded, or input tax credit wrongly utilized. This framework will apply to liabilities pertaining to the financial year 2024-25 onwards. The concerned officer will serve a notice in this regard within 42 months from the due date for filing the annual return or from the date of refund. Waiver of SGST recovery. The bill empowers to waive recovery of SGST if it is satisfied that SGST was not levied or short levied on any supplier of goods or services as a result of general practice. Pre-deposit amount for filing appeals. Under the Act, a person must deposit a specified amount for filing an appeal. This is applicable for appeals before the appellate authority, against orders of adjudicating officers, and the appellate tribunal. The bill lowers the deposit amount from 20% to 10% of the tax in dispute. Under the Act, the deposit amount is subject to a maximum of 25 crore for appeals before the authority and 50 crore for appeals before the tribunal. The bill lowers both these thresholds to 20 crore. Timeline for appeals before the appellate tribunal. Under the Act, an appeal to the appellate tribunal must be filed within 3 months from the date of the communication of an order. The bill allows this period to be extended until a date notified. Certain insurance services not treated as supplies. Schedule 3 of the Act specifies a list of activities that are not considered as supply of goods and services. Hence, these are exempt from levy of SGST. The bill adds certain activities related to co-insurance and reinsurance to this schedule. Manipur is focusing on growth through infrastructure development, enhanced digital connectivity and economic diversification, with key areas being improved, transportation networks increased and access to clean water, and support for women entrepreneurs and rural livelihoods. The state has seen significant investment in road and rail expansion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Manipur the land of courage and valor, assuring people that peace and prosperity in the state will be the government's foremost priority. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated multiple development projects in Manipur. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that projects worth thousands of crores have been inaugurated for the development of Manipur. He remarked that these projects will enhance the ease of living for the people and strengthen the infrastructure in the region. The Prime Minister said that new employment opportunities will be created for the youth of Manipur and for the sons and daughters of the state. He also stated that among the projects launched, 2 were particularly significant, highlighting the Manipur Urban Roads project with an investment of over 3,600 crore and Manipur Infotech Development project with an investment exceeding 500 crore. He also remarked that these projects will strengthen road infrastructure in Imphal and infuse new energy into Manipur's bright future. Highlighting that after independence, major cities in the western and southern parts of the country witnessed development and became hubs of aspiration, PM Modi remarked that youth in those regions received new opportunities. The 21st century belongs to the East and the Northeast, he added. The Prime Minister stated that Government of India has consistently prioritized the development of Manipur, highlighting that as a result, Manipur's growth rate has been steadily increasing. He noted that before 2014, Manipur's growth rate was less than 1%. And today, Manipur is progressing many times faster than before. He also stated that a new phase in infrastructure development has begun in Manipur and expressed satisfaction that the pace of road construction and national highway development in the state has increased manifold. He added that rapid work is underway to extend road connectivity to every village. Prime Minister remarked that he envisions Imphal as one of the developed cities of India that will fulfill the dreams of youth and accelerate the nation's progress.
मणिपुर बॉर्डर से सटा राज्य है। यहां पर कनेक्टिविटी हमेशा से बहुत बड़ी चुनौती रही है। अच्छी सड़कें ना होने की वजह से आपको जो परेशानी आती रही है वो मैं भली भांति समझता हूं। इसलिए 2014 के बाद से मेरा बहुत जोर रहा कि मणिपुर की कनेक्टिविटी के लिए लगातार काम किया जाए और इसके लिए भारत सरकार ने 2 स्तर पर काम किया। पहला, हमने मणिपुर में रेल और रोड का बजट कई गुना बढ़ाया और दूसरा, शहरों के साथ ही गांवों तक भी सड़कें पहुंचाने पर जोर लगाया। साथियों, बीते वर्षों में यहां नेशनल हाईवेज पर 3,700 करोड़ रुपए 3,700 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए गए हैं। 8,700 करोड़ की लागत से नए हाईवे पर काम बहुत तेजी से चल रहा है। पहले यहां गांवों में पहुंचना कितना मुश्किल था, आप भी जानते हैं। अब सैकड़ों गांवों में यहां रोड कनेक्टिविटी पहुंचाई गई है। इसका बहुत अधिक लाभ पहाड़ी लोगों को, ट्राइबल गांवों को हुआ है। साथियों, हमारी सरकार के दौरान ही मणिपुर में रेल कनेक्टिविटी का विस्तार हो रहा है। जिरीबाम इंफाल रेलवे लाइन बहुत जल्द राजधानी इंफाल को नेशनल रेल नेटवर्क से जोड़ देगी। इस पर सरकार 22,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर रही है। 400 करोड़ की लागत से बना नया इंफाल एयरपोर्ट एयर कनेक्टिविटी को नई ऊंचाई दे रहा है। इस एयरपोर्ट से राज्य से दूसरे हिस्सों के लिए हेलीकॉप्टर सर्विसेज भी शुरू की गई है। ये बढ़ती हुई कनेक्टिविटी मणिपुर के आप सभी लोगों की सुविधाएं बढ़ा रही है। यहां के नौजवानों के लिए रोजगार के नए मौके बना रही है।
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.